So today what we're going to do is we're going to go to lesson 7, additional costs. So we welcome you. I welcome you all for coming today and listening to this and learning about the stuff that we're really getting into here. So lesson 7 is additional costs. We know so far, in terms of the topics that we've done, we know that we have to pay for monthly mortgage payment, right? Yeah, we have to, because we have to pay back the loan from the bank. We also have to pay for property taxes, which we did learn that a few days ago. We also have to pay for insurance, either home insurance or tenant insurance. So those are the big stuff that we've been paying for, and you know that you have to pay for the bills, right? The electricity, the heat, and other stuff that's is involved in owning a home. Okay, so here's our goal. I'll talk about our goal first and then keep on going. A lot of these stuff are reading first, so understanding what they are, and then we'll do a little bit of the math in this unit. Okay, so our goal is to explain the types of additional costs incurred, okay, that will happen when we purchase a property. Okay, calculate the land transfer tax for a property. Okay, this is calculate. That means there's some kind of a math involved there because we're calculating, right? We're calculating the land transfer tax, and then we'll see what is that. And then the other one, it says calculate additional costs for a case study. So another calculation. When people purchase property, they must consider the purchase price and a down payment. So when we're looking for our house that we wanted to buy, usually the things that we think about right off the hop, right, the very first thing that we think about is how much is the house, okay, because you know you have to think about, well, if I can afford it, and then the down payment. What kind, like how much down payment do I have so that I don't have to borrow so much money. So these are the big things. However, it is important to know that there are other several additional costs incurred when purchasing or moving into a new property. Okay, so there's many other costs that we have to pay for. Yeah, and we know that. So here's one of them, okay? Mortgage application fee, okay? At the very beginning when we did the GDSR, remember we said that we have to go to the bank and then the bank calculates our gross debt service ratio to see if we can qualify for a mortgage. Well, we can ask for a mortgage application fee. Okay, so some financial institutions charge a fee to open up a mortgage. Many will often waive the fee in order to get your business. It is possible that you will need to pay for it though. Okay, so mortgage application fee. Most of the time, they don't really give this fee, okay? Because once let's say I go to a bank and then I borrow money from the bank. Do you remember how much interest they earn from that one house? Yeah. So mortgage application fee of $100 is nothing to them, right? As long as they get our business. So sometimes some banks do, okay? But most of the time, not really. Now, this is one thing that we have to pay for. Sometimes they don't, the bank doesn't need it. So appraisal fee, appraise. What does it mean, appraise? Banks will not lend thousands of dollars unless they are certain the investment is worth their money. Okay, wait for a second. Why do you think the bank thinks that your house is their investment. Yeah, exactly, because the bank will eventually earn money from us when we purchase a house because of interest. Perfect, well said. They will often have an appraisal of the property done to ensure that it's worth what you say it is. This appraisal usually involves an appraiser simply driving by the property to ensure the actual property exists and it's worth their investment. So first of all, there's a person that will go there, take a look at the house, and think what that house is really worth. So I love how we have a dictionary right here in our math class, which is kind of nice because we don't usually use dictionary. Appraise. What does appraise mean? Okay. Okay, here's the word appraise. I'll try to make it as close as possible. Okay, appraise, right there. Appraise. Appraise means to estimate the quality or value of the property. So they want to know how much the property is worth, right? That's what it means. That's what appraising means. Figuring out how much is it really worth. So the bank wants to know how much is the property really is. Okay? So that's appraisal fee. They want to know how much this property is. Home inspection. Home inspection. Oh, anybody? Why we have to pay for home inspection before we buy it?
To make sure the house is like nothing broken or something.
Yeah, nothing broken or nothing. There's no house that's gonna be perfect. I can guarantee you that, right? There's something that you're gonna eventually change and fix, but it's gonna be really, really foolish to buy a house that you've never seen before or get it inspected, right? Because sometimes there's some stuff, like if I look at the house, I say, oh yeah, it looks good, the paint is good, it's okay, but I'm not a trained person. I could see the house and say it's beautiful, but then a trained eye, a person who knows about the house, the structure of the house, they can spot a potential problem. You want to hire that person before you say, yeah, I want to buy the house. Okay? Because a crack on a foundation, it looks like, there's a little crack, not a big deal, but it can cause a lot of issue down the road. Okay? A crack in the window, it's like, I can fix the window, right? I can change the color of the wall, but if there's a big issue, I want to make sure that I'm not going to get into a big problem, right? So home inspection is really good to think about before purchasing a home. So although it's not necessary to get a home inspection, but it is wise to do so. A signed document by an engineer with a seal can act as security for you should something go wrong with the house in the future. So it can also point out current problems with the house that need immediate attention. Okay? So it's good to know that somebody inspected the house and there's no major issue in the house. Okay, so what do we have so far? We talked about mortgage application fee, right? Sometimes you have to apply for a mortgage and there's a fee for that. Appraisal fee, the bank wants to know how much the property is worth. I have to pay for that, you have to pay for that to get it appraised. And then the third one that we've talked about is home inspection. Okay, so far those are three things. Here's the other one, GST. GST is goods services tax. GST is 5%, is charged only on new homes, not a resale property. So if there's a brand new home, nobody lived there before, brand new, newly built, then that's when we pay GST. Okay, but if somebody already lived there and is moving out and selling it to somebody else, they don't have to pay GST. Okay? And the next one is service charges. Okay, this is to hook up our hydro, our cable, our telephone. Okay, so that's another expense when we buy a new property, when we move into a new property. You want probably the very first thing that you would call is internet. Right? Some people that I know is like, yeah, I want to make sure that our internet is connected, so we can have Wi-Fi. So, but also you have to get your hydro moved, right? So they'll transfer whatever, all of your, what do you call that, account to your new home. Okay? Service charge, service fee. Next one, this is a big one, legal fee. Legal fee is basically a lawyer fee and anything that the lawyer does that you have to pay for. So legal fee, you will need a lawyer to act for you during the purchase of the property. The lawyer will look after the cost adjustment and will finalize the sale. The lawyer will also be responsible for giving you the keys on the possession date. Stop there. They're responsible for giving you the keys on when? Possession date. If the possession date, if your move-in date is June 1st, they might give you the key the day before June 1st. Okay? They're not gonna give us the key weeks in advance. Okay? So, legal fees vary widely from one place to another, so it's advisable to shop around. Okay? So, sometimes it costs hundreds, sometimes it could be over 1,000 for just a lawyer to just file your stuff. Okay? The next one is land survey. I'm just gonna go here, lawyer fee. Land survey. Oh, land survey. Land survey, what does that mean? The purpose of a land survey is to provide property owners with accurate determination of the size and shape of the property. Okay? So land survey tells you exactly how big your property is, length, width, right? Why is that important? Why is land survey important? Okay, so let's say this is my house. No, not house, my land. Yeah, this is my land, this is my property. Okay, and then I say, oh, and then this is my neighbor's property right there beside me. Me, neighbor. Now, the neighbor decided to put a garage because they didn't have a garage then. Okay, sure, they figure out a garage. and then their garage somehow that can cause an issue, right? Because your neighbor's garage is encroaching, is actually partly in your property. That's no good, right? And that's where problems with neighbor can happen. Some people put up a fence and it's a foot larger than away from what their property is. So you want to make sure that you know where your property starts and where your property ends. Otherwise, there's going to be trouble. And, like when issues like that happen between neighbor and me, right? Okay, this is me, this is my neighbor who decided to put up a garage. I can call the city of Winnipeg and say, you know what, I think my neighbor's garage is over my area, okay? Part of it is in my lot. So the city will take a look at it, take a look at your land survey, and see, oh, yeah, you're right. Your neighbor's garage is actually, part of it is in your property. So, what do you think will happen?
Legal battle.
You could get a legal battle, or later on, the city might say to the neighbor, like, yeah, actually, we did investigate. Land survey says this is your property and that's your neighbor's property, and they could ask it to get tear down or fix so that it just stays in their property. And that's exactly what permits do, right? That's what permits do, because they want to make sure that it's up to code and it's within your area. Yeah.
If, per se, your neighbor's garage is partially on your property, could they readjust your property tax?
Yeah, I guess that I'm sure that could be probably a possible option instead of tearing things down and starting over.
Tax has to get readjusted.
Yeah, but and then you still maintain the ownership of that piece. Yeah, I guess that's possible. Yeah, yeah. And it's not going to be all or nothing. They're going to probably find a solution that will make both people happy, right? It's not always bad. It's right. Do you know the saying that good fence make good neighbors? Yeah, it's your property, this is my property. Oh, there's so many issues that can happen. Okay, so far so good. I bet you're gonna think about that on your test. Additional cost, land survey. Okay, well, here are the other costs, and this is probably one of the common ones. Moving cost. Oh, what do we have to pay for when we move? Well, we gotta pay for, a moving company, right? We could probably pay for boxes. We could probably pay for the U-Haul if we do it ourselves, right? So those are the moving costs. So whether you use a professional moving company who does everything for you, or rely on friends, do it yourself, there will be always a cost associated to the move. These things such as truck rental, and then of course when your friends help you move your stuff. Okay, anybody here has moved and called your friends for that? Or family? It doesn't have to be friends, maybe friends and family. Well, they come to you and help you, and then it's like, okay, now the job is done, go away. No, you don't do that, right? You say, okay, well, here's some pizza, and coffee and donuts or whatever. So far so good? Yeah. Renovation and repairs. So if you are moving into a new property, it is unlikely that you will have these costs. However, if you are moving to a resale property, okay, meaning somebody lived there before and then you're moving in, there's gonna be likely that there's gonna be some kind of repair that needs to be done. Even if there are no apparent repairs, it's likely you want some rooms painted, right? You know, some people color their, you know, the old the old owner probably painted the one bedroom pink for their daughters, right? Or bright yellow, which I did that when I painted my room. And when we sold our house, it's like they don't want bright yellow. They don't want pink, right? They want purple. Whatever. So there's going to be rooms painted, carpeted, added, or removed. All of these could be considered as additional cost. Okay, so we're talking about other costs related to buying a property. Here's a must. Okay, when you move a resale property. Okay, when you move to a resale property, here's what you need to do. Must change locks. Why?
The previous tenant to have the spare keys.
Yeah, and you don't know if they gave it to like Uncle Bill, right? And then Uncle Bill just shows up and things like, it's like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna drop in and surprise Sean, and it's the wrong people. It's not Sean anymore, right? So when you move to a new house, okay, it's probably the very first thing that you have to do. It's a renovation and repair. You change the locks, or the very least, rekey the locks. Sometimes you don't have to change the whole lock system. You can just rekey, change the key, and then it will still work. Okay? So now you're going to remember that one, right? When somebody moves to a new house, the very first thing that you want to do when you move into the house, you change the locks. And locks could be expensive, right? Next one. Property insurance adjustment. Okay, now this is property insurance. We always pay for property insurance as long as we own the home. But this is a property insurance adjustment. What does that mean? So a financial institution will require that you have insurance on a property before the mortgage will be finalized. If you have a previous insurance coverage, your new coverage will result in either an increase or decrease for the remainder of the year. The lawyer will calculate the difference. Oh, what does the word difference mean? Okay, so sometimes, like when I move from one house to another house, my insurance will either increase or decrease, right? So figure out how much is the difference between those two and add it or subtract it with the other cost. Okay, so this is an adjustment. Let's see, here's an example. This is where we had to do some calculation. Where's my calculator? There it is. The Chartrand family just bought a new house. Okay, great. They had insurance in their old house, but they need to make sure the new house is covered. The insurance will increase from $600 a year to $720 a year. So their old house, and then the new is $720. Okay. So that means their new house, they have to pay more, right? You have to pay more insurance. So if they move to their new house on October 1st, calculate how much extra they will have to pay the insurance company. And this is per year, per year. Okay. So how much is the insurance, how much is the difference? 120, right? So, new insurance minus old insurance divided by 12. Okay, so how much is the new insurance? 720. How much is our old insurance? 600 divided by 12. So we know it's going to be 120. That's the difference for 1 year, right? That's a difference for 1 year. Now, if we divide it by 12, that gives us $10 per month. $10 a month. When did they move? October 1st. So, if the people, let's say, moved and paid for the rest of the year, this is for 12 months, and then this is also for the 12 months. They moved in October 1st. How much more did they have to pay? They're not going to pay 120 because they didn't move for that one whole year. They started in October, right? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay, so this is the amount that they paid for the whole entire year. And then in their new house, this is the amount that they have to pay for the entire year. So they're only moving October 1st. October, how many months is that? 12. Did you say 12? 12. Oh, 12. Okay. But if they move in October, November, December, 3 months. 3 months. So 3 months extra that they have to pay for. So it's going to be times 3. Okay. So times by 3 months, that equals to $3 extra that they have to pay for. That's their adjustment. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Is that okay? So they've already paid. Okay. So from their old house, they already paid $600. Okay. So they took that away. Now there's $120 difference. If we divide it in 12, that's going to be how much it is per month. And then because it's October 1st, October, November, December, 3 months, so times it by 3 months. So it's $30 extra. Is that okay? So, property insurance adjustment. Okay. Good. Take a look at the next one. Property tax, okay. Property tax, we pay property tax continually, right? It's an ongoing as long as we own the property. But this one is reimbursement, okay? So all properties in Manitoba are taxed by municipality. We know that. That's our assignment yesterday. These taxes were explored in lessons 4 and 5. If the previous owner have already paid the property tax for the entire year, you will be responsible to reimburse them, right? Because they already paid for the entire year. So reimburse them for the portion of the year that you will live in the house. The lawyer will make this calculation and add it to your cost. That's why we have to pay for this, because lawyers have to do these calculations. November, December. And this family moved from May 1st. So May, right here. This is May. So they are gonna be living in the house during this month. So how many months is that? 8 months. So that means we have to pay 8 months worth of that property tax. Does that make sense? Months worth of that property tax. So it's 2,400 divided by 12. That's going to give us the month. Okay, that's going to be 200. Okay, and how many months are we going to be moving there? 8 months. So times it by 8 months. So that's going to give us $1,600. Okay? Is that good? The last one. We're going to see the last one, and this is going to be a bigger calculation. Also, this calculation, land transfer tax, is done again by the lawyer. Okay? Lawyer. Anybody want to be a lawyer here? Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, there's different kinds of lawyers. So this. Oh, family. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Great. Okay. Maybe they do this one as well. I don't know. Maybe they practice this as well. I'm not sure. Because is it different guys or different people? Okay. Yeah. Because there's different kinds of lawyers, just like doctors, right? Doctors are different kinds of doctors. Like an eye doctor can't be like heart doctor. I get. But you know what? It's good to know these things, right? Because, yeah, no matter what. And that's why I really like essentials math. Like, some people think essentials math, it's no good. But this is probably what I really like about this one is like, this is real math. Very practical. Like I teach pre-cal, but yeah, like look at those stuff. Yeah. Where do you use that? Oh, wait until my students, the other students hear what I say. No. Oh, and then I tell them, I was like, I love pre-cal. Yeah, I like both. I like both. But this one is like really, really good. So applicable to real life. Okay, land transfer tax. What does that mean? Land transfer tax in Manitoba, the Manitoba Land Titles Office charges land transfer tax on all home purchases. It is charged according to the following scale. Okay, now this is what it is. So the first 30,000, they forgive you, no tax on that one. Okay, so that's why 0%. The next 60,000, they charge the tax 0.5%. Next, okay. So right now, how many is that? 30 plus 60, it's gonna be 90,000. Okay. Now the next 60,000, they're gonna charge us 1% tax. Okay. How much is that one now? What's the running total? 150. Okay, good. And then the next 50,000, it's gonna be 1.5%. So what's the running total now? 200,000. Okay. And then anything over 200,000, above the 200,000 mark, they have to pay 2%. Sorry. There you go. So this one here, we got to do the individual calculation. So here we go. Let's see. If you look at this one here, the first example, the purchase is $225,000 home. Okay, that's going to be over the $200,000 home. Okay, so we're going to calculate every single parts there. Yeah? This next one, 163. Well, it's not over 200, so it's going to be, so this is from 30, 60 is 90, this is 150, so this is going to be up to here, up to 1.5%. right? Okay, and then the other one, 28,500. How far do we go? 28,000. Just the first one. Yeah, zero tax. Okay, good. So let's see here. 225,000. Sometimes it helps when we organize our thoughts in here. Okay, so this one is going to be first 30,000. Okay, what rate? 0%. So the amount would be 30,000 times 0% times 0% means 0 divided by 100 is 0. Okay, so times 0. 30,000 times 0 is 30,000 times 0 is 0. Yeah. Okay. Okay, next one. The next 60,000. Okay, what percent is that? 0.5%. Okay, so what's the running total now? 90, right? So that's going to be 60,000 times, what's the 0.5%? 0.5 divided by 100 is 0.005. Okay, I didn't make my box bigger. Okay, so 0.5, okay, if we divide that by 100 is 0.005. So 60,000 times 0.005 is $300. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so right now our total is 90. We need to get to 225. Now, next 60,000 is 1.0%. So 60,000 times 1% would be 0.01. That's going to be 600. Okay, what's our running total? 90 plus 60 is 150. Okay, next one. Next 50,000. It's 1.5%. So 50,000 times 0.015. Are you okay with this part here? Yeah?
Question, why
Do-
is it not just 0.10?
Oh, 0.10. Oh yeah, we could do that. We could do that.
You can.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
You just have to move that decimal.
Yeah, you move the decimal over to the left. Yeah, 2 decimals. Yeah. Okay, that's a shortcut. Yeah. So when we divide by 100, we move the decimal to the left 2 times. So yeah, maybe some of you have taught that or were taught that. So that's good. So we go 1, 2, right? So how much is that one? So 50,000 times 0.015 is 750. Okay, so what's our running total now? 30 plus 60 is 150 plus another, 30 plus 60 is 90 plus another 60 is 150 plus another 50 it's 200. So how much more do I need? I need to go to 225. 25,000. So for 25,000, it's going to be 2%. So it's going to be 25,000 times 2%, so 0.02. It's 500. Okay, so all of these have to add up to 225,000. Okay, so what's the total? Land transfer tax. Okay, so how much is it? 0 plus 300 plus 600 plus 750 plus 500.
2150.
It's 2150. Yeah, 2,150. That's just the tax. And every purchase of any property, we have to pay land transfer tax. Okay, and it's in a scale. It's a graduated tax rate.
You just pay that at the purchase of the house, and then if you sell your house, do you get that back?
No.
So it's given one-time purchase agreement.
Yeah, you don't get that back because we sold the house. Yeah, and then
And
the next person who buy that house will have to pay that. Yeah.
the exact same amount unless
Um,
the rates
It might no, the rates are not going to change. Like the percent is not going to change, but the selling price might change, right? Because if I move into the house, I bought it like 10 years ago. It costs, I don't know, 200,000, and then once I want to downsize and all that stuff later on, maybe it's worth 300,000. Then it's going to be the calculation for the next one will be based on 300,000. So it's based on how much it was sold for. Okay. Let's see this one. This is going to be 163,600. Okay. I'm going to make this a little bit wider because that one I didn't have enough room. So first, 30,000. Okay, so how much is first 30,000? 0%. So the very first one is easy, right? So 30,000 times 0% would be 0 divided by 100 is 0. So it's 3 is 0, right? 30,000 times 0 is 0. Okay, so now we're at 30,000. We need to go for the next 60,000. 0.5%. So that's 60,000 times 0.005. Okay, we already know how much that is. Okay, it's that one, the exact same one, 300. Okay, so what's our running total now? We're at 90, right? 90. Okay, can we go for another 60? Yeah, we can go for next 60,000. So it's going to be 1%. 60,000 times 1%, which is 0.01 or 10. We already have that answer from previously, so $600. Okay, so what's our running total? 30 plus 60 plus 60, so that's going to be 150. Okay. Can we go for the next? We're not going to go to the next 50,000. We're going to go, how much is left over? So it's going to 163,600 minus 150,000. 13,600 left. So for the remaining 13,600, we're going to pay 2%. No, 1.5%. Okay, so 13,600 times 1.5% would be 0.015. That I don't know. $204. Okay, so all of these must add up to $163,600. Okay, is that good? Let's do the total. So that's gonna be 300 plus 600 is 900 plus 204, 1104. Awesome. Okay, good. We've made it to the last one. Thank you guys for your patience. Letter C, you just bought an empty lot. Okay, that's possible, right? Because people doesn't have to be like buying a house. They could buy the lot first, right? And then later on. So, because it's 28,500, how much do we need to pay? This is for the first 30, up to 30,000. So in this case, because it's less than, so for 28,500, how much tax? 0%. It's going to be $0. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so that's the end of that. Oh, we did quite. Oh, it took us a long time to go through that. And there's your